Welcome, Mage. I'm Rhino, and today we're going to be talking about the cards that may be unbanned in Commander. Probably.
Okay, so yeah, so we also kind of have our thoughts on the last 2 months of the bracket system because this is all going to be it's all mixed together. So why can we talk authoritatively about all of this? Okay, so one, we generally play about twice a week,
Yeah.
and we average about 6 games each week. We live near 14 LGSs and about a 25-minute drive. I know those of you in England, you do things based off of miles. Here we do it based off of time. Yeah, about 25 minutes is pretty reasonable. We've got a lot of people that are in this area that play. We've taught a lot of people. So we play a lot of games. We do games all over. Um, so
What
were we right about
about
the bracket
breakfast
system?
system? Mostly. The biggest issue is not listing the questions for the pre-game conversation.
Okay, so let's bring up the bracket system. All right, everybody's seen this image there. Hey, there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it shows the different brackets, and everybody looks at those, and they think that this is the be all end all of the whole system. They don't look at it as an addition to the pregame conversation because there's nothing here that says anything about pregame conversation. And if you don't specify it, people are going to skip over it. We said that in our video that we did 2 months ago, and we have seen it happen over and over again. We get those people that say,
My deck is a 2.
"It's like, okay, what does
And
your
my
what,
de-
what does your commander do? My
my
deck
deck is
is
a
a
2.
two. How do you expect to win? My deck is a two."
If you keep saying that,
Yeah.
I don't want to play against you.
And we have reluctantly played against people like that, and their deck was technically a two, but not really. The whole thing about the pregame conversation is more than just what's on the game changer list. So we have our 3 standard questions that we ask every single time. Question number one.
What sort of game are you looking for?
So that
Uh,
is like, oh yeah, I like a casual sort of
so,
game. I want a
uh,
good, satisfying thing. Or hey, I've got this cool deck that has all these people standing on one leg. Okay,
I,
yeah,
yeah,
we got a deck that can go with that. All right.
yeah.
Or he's like, I like playing really powerful games. I'm out. I really want to win. Uh, and there's some people that say that we understand they don't want to talk a lot. They don't necessarily want to do any politicking. That's fine. Yeah. So first question is, what sort of game are you looking for? Question number two,
What does your commander do?
do. Okay. What does your commander do? Uh, there are thousands of possible commanders. Back when we started playing Commander, there was maybe a
Uh,
couple hundred or so.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't think that far back.
yeah, but we had we had a smaller pool of commanders, and there was only so much you could do. Now there's thousands of them, and I can't be expected to know what every commander does just by looking at it. So, yeah, question number two, what does your commander do? Question number three,
How does your deck win?
yeah. So, um, a lot of people want to keep that as hidden information. And it's like, I'm going to have to take and do assumptions on that. And if I have to assume how your deck's going to win, I will probably be bringing in a much more powerful deck than what, yeah, what will work against your game. And that has happened a lot. Somebody who's like, well, yeah, no, it'll be a surprise. Okay, I'm bringing in a deck, and then on turn 4, I combo off, and you're dead. I didn't see what your deck did. But if you tell me what your deck is going to do, I want to see it. I want to see you do something. I mean, in these games of Commander, we have this kind of social contract where we want everybody to do something.
Yeah.
We don't want you to sit there and do nothing. Now, if that's what your deck does, is like, well, I take your all your cards and I play them for you. It's like, that's not a game that I want to play. No,
Mm-mm.
I want to do something with my deck. I'll let you do something with your deck. So those are the first three, and they should be here up at the very top. The first questions that you ask each player, so everybody knows. And then, and only then, you talk about brackets. And you talk about, what game changers. And there's the game changers right there. So, uh, there's 40 game changers on there. There's probably going to be a little more here soon because they're going to be doing some unbannings. And we got some good ideas of what we think is going to get unbanned. And when they get unbanned, they're going to go directly onto the game changer list. So now we've talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of people that think that some of these cards don't belong on the game changer list. There's some that are like, why isn't this card on the game changer list? Why isn't this one? And there was a lot of them that had there was a consistent number of people talking about certain cards. And so we want to get into what we think is going to be unbanned and why. And if you want to know right now, we're going to say probably Jeweled Lotus, Manacrypt, Coalition Victory, Reoccurring Nightmare, and Tinkerer, and eventually Raphaelis, Llanowar, Emissary, and probably even Docside Extortionist. So go ahead, subscribe. Yeah. And then that way you can razz us in future videos if we got this wrong. So, number one, we're going to talk about Tinkerer. So let me bring up Tinkerer. And Tinkerer is a 2 and a blue. It's a sorcery. At the time you play Tinkerer, sacrifice an artifact, search your library for an artifact card, and put that card into play. Shuffle your library afterwards. Okay, it does not say cast, so there's no cast trigger on this. Okay, so why do we think that this will be unbanned? Well, it's a sorcery.
Yeah.
So you can only play it on your turn, unless you got some sort of thing where you can flash stuff. But I mean, it's also something that can be countered. I mean, if they were to errata this so that this card was to be exiled after you cast it, then it'd be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But that's going to functionally change how this works. So people are afraid. Oh yeah, I can bring out. Let's bring out a Blightsteel Colossus on turn 4. Okay, there's other ways to do that. So it's not that big of a deal. So I don't think that Tinkerer is really, really that bad of a card. So that's why we think Tinkerer is going to be unbanned. And it will go on the Game Changers. Okay, the next one is going to be
Reoccurring Nightmare.
So let's bring up that one. So Reoccurring Nightmare is a pretty old card. You sacrifice a creature. It's an enchantment, okay? And then you return Reoccurring Nightmare to your hand. Okay, then you return target creature from a graveyard to the battlefield. And you can only activate this anytime you cast a sorcery. So, yeah, you can do some shenanigans where you play the enchantment, you sacrifice the creature, return it, put something from the graveyard back in. Keep in mind, stuff has to be in the graveyard to come back out.
Duh.
There's plenty of graveyard hate, and there's instant speed graveyard hate. So you could do you could stop this fairly easily from becoming
Yes.
overly nasty. And on top of that, you need to have a lot of mana because you got to keep recasting the Reoccurring Nightmare enchantment over and over and over again. So that's one of the reasons why we think, don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. All right, next one. Ryan's going to talk about it, and that is Manacrypt.
It's a painful soul ring. Plain and simple.
Yeah, okay, it's a 0-drop. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Manacrypt deals 3 damage to you. It's been in Commander for so many years.
Yeah, and people die to it.
Yeah, we've had we don't run or we haven't run into people playing Manacrypt that much in the more casual games that we've played. So, but the ones that we have seen, people have killed themselves with Manacrypt. It's like, no, I know, I'm not going to destroy your Manacrypt because you're going to lose that flip next turn and you're dead. But okay, so it's mostly used in competitive EDH. And let's see. And we talked to a lot of people that play competitive, and they don't know why it was banned. They didn't want it banned.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. And so we think that if it gets unbanned, you're not going to see it in bracket 3 decks, really. It's going to be relegated to bracket 4, and it's just, I mean, it's a fairly expensive card. It's always going to be an expensive card because they don't print that many of them. It's used in a bunch of formats, very successfully. So it will be relegated to bracket 4, pretty much, and people in bracket 4 will be happy about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Similarly, the next card we think is going to be unbanned is Jeweled Lotus. Okay, and we're pretty certain that this is going to be unbanned. We know EDH wants it unbanned, and Wizards of the Coast has reprinted it multiple times. It is a commander card.
Yeah.
It was something that they wanted it to be iconic with Commander. So same thing with Manacrypt and Jeweled Lotus. It's basically going to be relegated to bracket 4. You're extremely rarely going to see it in bracket 3. And it's one of 99. So how often will these 2 cards come up in games? Unless somebody's cheating a little bit. Cheating. Okay, so those five cards we think are pretty much going to be unbanned here in the next few weeks. We see no reason. Oh, wait a second. We missed one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coalition Victory.
Yeah. Okay. So Coalition Victory is 3 and Wooburg. You win the game if you control a land of each basic land type and a creature of each color. Okay. Why is this going to be unbanned?
Well,
One thing Gavin said, Gavin pretty much said he doesn't understand why this was banned in the first place.
Yeah. Um, is because you have to have each individual.
Well, no, there's a difference here. This card is a pretty old card, okay?
Makes sense.
And so the wording on it is a little off. They really need to errata this to match what you can tell what was intended. What was really intended this card to say is you win the game if you control a basic land of each land type. That means a basic plains, a basic island, a basic swamp, a basic mountain, and basic forest. And a creature of each color. This, to me, says a monocolored creature of each color. Or you have to have 5 creatures, one of each color. So either way that they write that. In order to clarify what this card was intended to do, then you have to be able to do Wooburg and then 3 extra, and then you just win out of nowhere. Okay? Now, if this gets put on the game changer list, that's part of the pregame conversation. Hey, this is one of my game changers. I've got an alternate win condition of coalition victory. People will look for it. If you want to hide that and go, oh, hey, I win, that's going to feel kind of bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
it won't be a very satisfying game for. It actually won't even be a very satisfying game for you, or for the person playing this. It's like, oh, hey, I win. I fooled y'all. Yeah, that's not very satisfying.
yeah.
So, yes, that's the 5th one there. So, Tinkerer, Reoccurring Nightmare, Coalition Victory, Manacrypt, and Jeweled Lotus. We feel as though that those 5 cards will be unbanned towards the end of this month. Okay. We got 2 more to talk about.
Yeah.
So, what's the next one we're going to talk about? Raphaelos, Llanowar Emissary. It's 2 green, and it's a legendary creature, an elf druid. Add 1 green to your mana pool for each forest you control. Okay.
All forests in the deck.
Yeah. So
Makes the most sense.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this is a mono green commander, because you're gonna, yeah. And I mean, if it's in the 99, there's other ways of doing double mana. So yeah, this is just another one.
Cradle.
Yeah, it's kind of like Gaia's Cradle. It's kind of like the Mirari's Wake. Yeah, you double up your mana. There's plenty of cards like that. So let's talk about this as being a commander. All right. There's no way you're going to be able to tap it until turn 3. Okay? Because there's mono green. What haste do you really have in mono green? I mean, okay, yeah, if you do a turn 1 Soul Ring, and then you get a Lightning Greaves out, or Swiftfoot Boots, and then you could potentially attach it on turn 2. I mean, this is very contrived. Yeah, you could potentially on turn 2 have 4 or 5 mana. There's other ways of ramping. You can get close to that. So how do you deal with this? Well, I mean, in many respects, it's kind of like Rhino's Galta deck. Galta Primal Hunger.
Yeah.
Okay. You look at that casting cost there. 10 and 2 green.
Whoa, man.
Obviously not coming out until turn
4.
4. Yes. He can generally get this out on turn 4 on a regular basis. So
yeah.
And this is a 12/12 with trample. And if he puts the Swiftfoot Boots on it, or Lightning Greaves, which I don't think he has in that deck.
I might.
He might. He can be swinging for 12 commander damage on turn 4. Often turn 5, okay? So Raphaelos is, I mean, it's just a mana production. And so what are some ways that people will get rid of it? Okay, well, you can counter it when it comes down.
Yeah.
And turn 2 is not too hard for people to counter. The other thing is you can immobilize it. What's a good way to immobilize it?
Lignify.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Lignify. So you enchant the creature. Hey, this is a 2-drop. And the enchanted creature loses all abilities. It's a tree folk with a base power of toughness 0/4. And it's stuck there until they remove the enchantment.
Yeah.
So what's another way to immobilize it?
Um,
That's not in green. It's in white. Dark Steel Mutation.
Dark Steel Mutation.
Guess what? Another 2-drop. 1 in a white. Enchanted Creature. Enchanted Creature is an insect. Artifact creature with a base power and toughness of 0/1. And is indestructible. And loses all other abilities. Card types and creature types. So it can't even anthem the rest of your elves. So it's so there's ways to deal with Raphaelos, no problem. And we're pretty certain that one's going to probably be unbanned. All right, we're coming up on our last one, and this is the one that we're going to get all the hate over, and that is Docside Extortionist.
Yeah.
All right. We don't think it's going to be unbanned right now, but eventually we think it will be. Because there was already ways of dealing with it. So yeah, it's a 2-drop, and yes, you can make a ton of treasure tokens.
That's if somebody has a lot of artifacts.
Yeah. So a lot of artifacts. What decks run a lot of ramp and a lot of artifacts? Well, you see in bracket 3, there's a reasonable number, but not an incredible amount. Bracket 4, there's a ton of it. So this will be in bracket 4, and it's a powerful card that will play in bracket 4, no problem. And yeah, somebody might have it in bracket 3, but I mean, there have been times that I've had this in the deck, and I've cast it to get 2 treasures. 2! Because nobody else was running artifacts. And I mean, hardly any artifacts were being played. And there's plenty of ways of getting rid of treasure. There's a bunch of things that make lots of treasure in Commander right now.
Yeah.
So we don't think that this is going to be that big of a deal. And I don't think it's going to be unbanned immediately, but eventually I expect it to be. And it'll definitely be in the game changer. So that's 7 cards that we think are going to become unbanned. We've looked at all these others and can't see any of these other ones really becoming unbanned. Yeah, there's good reasons why they're banned. Yeah, there's conspiracy cards and anti cards and stuff like that.
But they're never going to.
Yeah, those are never going to be unbanned because they don't make sense in Commander. But out of what's left of the, I don't know, there's probably about a couple dozen actual banned cards that could be played. Yeah. So let's see. Before we go, we want to make sure that you realize that, hey, look right here. We are sponsored by our patrons. And they help us out.
Yeah. you can sign up as patron.
And you can be a free patron. And the nice thing about being a free patron is we do put up some freebies for people. And we also, that's the best way to find out when a video comes out because we know YouTube. I mean, yes, please subscribe to YouTube. Please, that helps a lot. Like the video, share it. Those things
Yeah.
are great. But if you want to find out when the videos are coming out, Patreon is going to be the way to do it because, as soon as it comes out, we send out a thing on Patreon and, you can write it, see it, watch it there, uh, and not get all dragged up into the rest of the YouTube stuff, so that's kind of fun too. So, if you, we also want to know, what do you think? Are we right? Are we right about the bracket system? Are we right about what is going to be unbanned? Let us know. And then that way you can be on record as uh, thinking that we're right or wrong. And if you think we're wrong and you're correct, then razz us in the future, okay?
Okay.
So let's see here. Close this out.
I have more videos coming out soon. So until then, Rhino out.